Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the final match, I believe, or second to last match in round 2. We have got here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, PTR versus Smoke Spaceman, both going to be racing in a Ferrari. And here tonight on commentary is me, and if he gets his audio included, it will be Lennon and possibly Bingley as well, which is just to hype Carlos up and to get him scared about their quarter-final match coming up tomorrow. So, different plans. Right, guys, so Pete and Smoke, what are your predictions? if Pete hasn't included his audio, guys, he has already just thrown himself out of the equation, so it's almost like a kick. So we've waited for half an hour over a white right fucking bumper. Fuck my life.
I've just included my audio now.
In the end, we will get there.
It's probably best that it's not included.
Hello!
In that particular
I'm back.
stance.
Right, let's go.
Right, here we go then, guys. It is the, oh shit, I've got a fucking spectator. Whoops.
Right.
Handy, wasn't it?
Right, good
So
luck.
the tracks
I haven't.
tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for round
no
2,
practice.
just to cover that, are USA, Singapore, Mexico, Russia,
light
and
is just
Abu
fucked.
Dhabi, of course.
Shit.
Right then, so basically this is to earn the opportunity to face Robbo in the quarterfinals. Should be a very interesting matchup regardless of who wins. So let's get going and let's see what these guys have on offer. USA, we saw it last night when Skillen literally left Mo in the dust, unfortunately, on that particular occasion. Don't know if it's going to be quite the same here, guys, but you never know, obviously. So we have, this is my first ever co-commentary with Lennon, if he's actually here. Lennon, welcome in, mate.
Yes,
I've been asking to do this for fucking weeks, so here we are. Right then, your predictions, mate, what do you reckon?
I think it's going to be close, me, but I'll probably have to say Spoke Spaceman at the minute, just courtesy of what I've seen over the season. But I do think it'll be a
If both of
3-2.
them turn up, I was going to say, if both of them turn up, I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I don't think it's going to be a sweep.
I think 3-2.
I would almost say, I'd probably say the same thing, based on, we know they both don't like some of the tracks that are included, so it's going to be interesting to see who kind of takes to the tracks that they dislike, as opposed to the ones that they like. So, we are 12 seconds away, ladies and gentlemen, from finding out the 7th member of the quarterfinals. We've got Bingley versus Carlos, thanks to Clutchy unfortunately having to pull out. We have got Robbo waiting for the winner of this. It's, oh no, there's still another one after this. Fuck I'm on about. I'm through, and then we've got obviously Ghost and Skillen doing their quarterfinal match up on a different channel. But here we go. Let's see how we do. Well, it's the first corner we're going to be on board with Smoke Spaceman in this particular lap time.
Finish, you
So
can't
through
rule
the
Pete
first
out
corner.
either, that's the thing.
No, I know.
Can't rule him out.
Saying
He's
that,
quick.
Lennon, the way you said that. He's actually technically up on Smoke at the moment.
Yep.
As you see, Smoke goes through the S's. And it takes him really, really well. A bit wide in the second one, but that's kind of not really going to detriment your line too much. Let's get on board with him here.
To be honest, I should have been neutral and
What
said that
the?
they're both my teammates.
What's he doing? Invalidated, is it? Let's have a look. It is, he's invalidated. Pete's got first pole. Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of turn up for the Bucks. Well, there you go. You made that point exactly. So there you go, mate. Might as well get on board with Pete.
Like I say,
I hate that camera angle, that's better.
it's a hard prediction, this one, because they're both my teammates. Williams.
I know, mate. You got to work out which side your bread's buttered on now, mate. I mean,
Well,
I've got to spend the whole year with Smoke Spaceman next year, though. So.
yeah, it's technically it should be with Pete because he's actually in the same GP to be fair.
But I say his actual teammate. But yeah, man, so basically the winner of this will face Robbo, as we mentioned.
Yep.
And them races literally have kicked off tonight, actually. So obviously, as soon as the winner gets this done, we'll obviously set up a little chat if you guys want to join it, and obviously you guys can arrange your little matchups here and there. We know Bingley and Carlos is tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and Pete does a 1 at 35.9.
Nice
And we're just waiting for Smoke Spaceman to get through the lap.
Need to
Save
unplug
the
my
tyres.
steering wheel and plug it back in.
Be quick.
Yeah, this is good. I think, and
Pete
that's
takes
it.
the first spoils.
After my prediction I've just made, that I might be made to eat my words, to be fair.
I know, mate, yeah. Not exactly the best preparation for Smoke Spaceman, as you've heard, guys, but of course, it's how you perform on the night, on the day, and at the moment,
He's got the
he's
upper
got
hand.
first pole.
Hello. Right.
We're
Oh shit! It's not gonna fucking. Oh, fuck. Oh,
Man,
mate,
remind
what
me never to go on a date with you, man. I'd have had my fucking main course and my dessert before you show up through the fucking door, kid. Fuck's sake, like.
I'm ready, mate. Fucking hell.
Oh dear.
Honestly,
dry-
man, I've
dry race qualifying.
literally got home from a 4-hour drive. I've had my dinner, blazer joint, and I've just jumped on here. So, like,
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
we don't. You know.
We don't condone this shit.
We're
the thing is, I don't know
So
if
part
I'm
of the show.
fucking.
There we go. Kind of look at it from a serious perspective now. We're going up for round one. Who will
Yep.
take the spoils? Just waiting for Smoke Spaceman, obviously, to get ready up, and then we're going to fly through USA. Will Pete be able to kind of convert the pole into a win? Smoke on the inside, of course. We're going through.
Five
Five
red
red
lights
lights
for the
coming
win.
up, guys. We've hit the 5, and the 2 red cars set off, and away we go. Let's have a little look then. He's Spaceman on the inside of Pete. Pete grabs the
Nice
first,
clean
first
first
corner
first
advantage. It is, mate. I mean, obviously there is another match going on right now, and them two just basically spent the whole time kicking the balls off each other, so anything can happen. But we'll get on board now and watch these two as Smoke Spaceman actually tailing Pete right now. Pete was a little bit wide.
Oh, it's a good exit off that corner, isn't it?
Certainly does. They're both doing really well, both really clean at the moment. Remember, Pete hasn't lost a round technically in this tournament yet to Sol, if you think about it. He got the sweep. So, looking pretty good
This is
so
gonna
far.
be. This is going to be a very tight race. There's not going to be much in it.
I think this is Pete's biggest test yet. Definitely, obviously,
Yep.
if we go back through Smoke's credentials, multiple-time race winner in SF1 over the last couple of seasons. He's also runner-up last season in the championship, currently running, if I'm correct, well, obviously the tables will be uploaded soon. I think it's in the next day, if they haven't already been. And we see here Smoke Spaceman having a look there at Pete.
Just pulled out. I think that was a smart
I think
decision
it was-
to pull out.
Almost a little sight of their Lennon, wasn't it? Just the two of them kind of both looking into... Sort of sight each other out, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Just kind of feeling
It's always
themselves...
the same
I was
when
going to
you
say feeling
first
themselves
start.
up, but I don't want to put people off, you know. People are just eating...
Oh, Pete's
Pete a little
back
bit
end.
off step there. Certainly did, mate. Fuck's sake, last one. The bat from Pete's camera now. Smoke Spaceman does go a lot more narrower into corners than Pete. It's almost like he has the inner
I'd say
confidence at this current stage. Here we go. Whoa!
And up to turn one, it's
That
going to
could
be
have ended
interesting.
bad. Jesus.
Ooh.
Pete's gone for the undercut. He's got it. He's kept it. Pete gets back
Did you
in
get?
first.
I thought there was a bit of lock up or something there.
Cracking bit of driving from both cars. Oh, running across the curb there. Got to be careful. That's
Pete's
the thing,
really
Lennon, we were
taking
talking
the
about
message.
last night. He's aggressive, isn't he? We were talking about your leg with America when we were talking about whose race did we cover? Mo and Skillen.
Yeah.
How the S's are very, very very tricky to get right, but you've got to be aggressive, but not to the point of kind of damaging your car almost in a way.
I would say on the strat, the S's is going to be where you make most of your time up, so that's where you need to be more spot on.
In 2 days' time, Lennon, you'll be seeing me, Pete, and Lennon, of course, all three of us competing on K-Road's channel. He's back streaming this week. That'll be at 8:30 PM, where I'm kind of locked in the midst of a quite boring championship fight, you know, miles away from each other. We're not 5 points apart. Don't believe the blooming Illuminati, promise you. I can't wait for it. It's going to be top. But anyway, back to this matter at hand. 1 second. The gap between the two, but it can be turned around. It was a bit wide there, a bit more wide. Just has to hold it. Smoke is catching him. Half a second gained on that long right-hander alone.
Getting some good exits. That's what it is. He's getting them curves spot on and getting the nice clean exit every time.
He's nailing it, mate, isn't he? He's absolutely
That's
nailing
what's
it.
basically keeping the gap, and obviously I was trying to get the pull on the track as well.
Pete with another faster slap there, but I don't know how long that's going to stand. But you see here, two Ferrari drivers. Ironically, these two are both together this season in the combined constructors for another 3 races before Smoke and Pete separate. I know that Smoke is in Red Bull. We'll find out where Pete is after. I did know earlier today because I was talking about it to the guys, but I've completely fucking forgotten. Salbert, thank you. Obviously, that's the one, yeah, because we're teammates with Skillen. But looking at 0.7 second gap here, then. Now, this is key. If one of the guys does get a penalty, the gap is still within 2 seconds either way swing. So, we've got to be mindful of that as well. But we're on board now.
That is the back end.
DRS straight.
I think that's another key point. If that back end, it's back, it's just been a little bit.
That's the thing. With the pad going around that corner, I've noticed as well. I'm not sure if you know, Lennon, because you run medium as well.
Yeah.
Or Smoke having a little bit of a feel.
I always feel if you accelerate too quick in that corner, you lose your back end for some reason.
Look at this! Smoke with amazing traction.
And he's caught back up as well, closed that gap.
Right back onto him. Ooh, Pete, what's happened to Pete?
Whoa,
whoa, that was lag.
That was like lag, that.
Whoa, man.
That was strange, that. It looked like Peter
Great
lost
move by
control and
Smoke.
he's in front of him.
No damage, luckily. Great driving by the pair of them, lads, wasn't it, really? But
well, to
still,
keep
you don't really kind of want to
composed.
see that.
Remember
back in the day, now from 2012 and 13, everyone used to go, oh, he fucking lag switched, oh, he flipped the switch and he finished the lag. Them days were shit, weren't they? God, fucking hell.
You're a good racer, you're a lagger.
So many times. Yeah, racer, a lagger, or a bitch. All three. But here we go. This is lap 4 now, lap 4 of 5, guys. Pete is, well, we both predicted that, we were going to say Smoke. Pete is really, as you said, Leonard holding his own. May have been a different story in qualifying if Smoke hadn't have cut the corner, but he did. You've got to get on with it.
Maybe that motivational talk at the beginning when I said that I think I might have to sway to Smoke, maybe that's what motivated him.
It's not over yet though. 3 DRS straights before the end of this race.
It's always the last lap where it gets exciting anyhow.
Yeah, this is really, really close. I know Pete's got the pace. It's just which way he turns up then. Very similar to Carlos and Skillen in a way.
Nice defending.
Right in the middle of the... That was right in the middle.
Yep. All it takes is one mistake and this could be
this is it.
How do you
hold this over?
He's holding his nerve.
Go with that.
And there we go.
Oh, goodness me.
Such a close battle this.
I hope I don't get to the final because I want to cover it on the stream. Crap, I need to think about that. But here we go then. PTR versus Spaceman.
Wide again.
It's look.
Get like a bit
Very
of a
clever Smoke in his kind of cornering there. This could be it. This literally could be it now. What the fuck is this camera angle? Thank you, we go there. Pete hugging the wall on the inside.
And he's on the inside then, Pete.
He's led the whole way through.
And he's
good defending.
It's a bit of
Jesus Christ.
Not dangerous.
Good lord. Defending on the limit. That's what we call it.
So I'm on board with Smoke at the minute and it's...
Oh, Pete's run wide. No, he's managed to hold it. Goodness gracious me.
How he's held it, I don't know. I thought that was pretty much very wide.
I thought that was curtains.
Yeah, I did. I thought he was going to lose the car.
Come on, here we go then. Last lap, here we go. My match, ladies and gentlemen, in the quarterfinals will be anytime, obviously after Monday when Senna and Benny race. I know in my head who I want to face, but I'm not going to spill the beans. Let's have a look here then. Look at this battle here, so close.
Oh,
that's what ground's wide. But this is where he gains all of his time.
About
these corners are where Pete does usually step out the back, and he has again. Here we go.
Yeah. This could be interesting.
3 corners to go, Lennon.
We're running down.
For Pete to take an unlikely lead.
And this is where it could change. Right there.
What a move by Smoke. Amazing driving. He's got him.
Oh, he hasn't.
He's gone wide. Oh, he's gone very wide. Oh, unlucky. Pete just does it. What a race. What a race.
That was so close.
Quality.
And how they controlled the cars when they went wide as well was pretty
bloody hell. Skill and Mo, that's how you keep it clean side by side. May I say.
Yeah.
Good race.
PTR takes first one. Good race, both of you.
Alright, hopefully. Well, that's my warm up now.
That was some quality driving there, Pete. Well done, mate.
Well, now I know
Well,
my
yeah.
steering wheel fucking works. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
Quality
Straight
driving.
into
was
Singapore,
awesome.
guys. No brakes. No brakes for the
Very
wicked,
close.
as they say.
Found it very close in pace between you both. There wasn't much in it, to be fair.
This is
Oh.
Bingley, ironically, guys. This is Bingley's. I think is it. Who has he raced so far? He had. Who was in the first round against Bingley? I can't remember.
I never had that first round because he was
Oh yeah, he
deciding not to race
decided
me.
to fanny ass
I had
around
that,
me.
I had that
Um,
glass squeaky person. I can't remember what his name
Oh,
was.
Ouija, of course. Do you know what? I wish I could have
Oh,
got that one.
great.
That'd been a hell of a one.
He's my new teammate in BP3, I think.
Mate,
He's racing.
Ouija is very good. That's all I'm gonna say. I've seen him at his best.
He's putting
Alright,
himself down. I was saying that he's got the pace, and
He does, mate. He does. It's because he's been away for so long, and it's just a case of trying to, kind of keep him together. That's the thing with Ouija. If he will put himself down until he's on that track. You know what I mean, and then it'll change. That's the way. But here we go. Smoke and Pete. Pete currently has a 1-0 lead. Amazingly, the amazing stat for you here now, guys. The stat man's around. Pete F1 PTR is the only guy to have won every race he has entered in the tournament now. Have that for a stat. Barring Benny and Senna. So 3 of the 32 people are undefeated. We're going to go on board with PTR in this one.
Again, a very interesting start. I'm gonna be there till you find words.
I don't know, mate.
But I think it's gonna be a 3-2 either way. It's such a close battle.
So that's the thing with Pete. Kind of talking about him, even though he's here, which is quite funny, guys. We're actually going to talk about him as if he's not. So, obviously professionalism. But the thing with Pete, as obviously Lennon, we see on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis,
Yeah.
you don't know which Pete's going to show up.
When he
These
shows
two are
up,
very similar, actually. Smoke and Pete are very similar. When they both show up, they're both
The top 5 drivers.
race-winning, challenging guys. Exactly, in both leagues. But obviously, it all depends on incidents, aka mindsets, etc. It all kind of, and obviously the circumstance in which they turn up and don't turn up. It's one of them. I mean, you got people like Bingley, who shows up, wins every time. People like myself who don't win all the time, but are very consistently up there. You almost know what you're going to expect from me, unless you put me on Britain. I spin 12 times, but that's not the point. But it's one of them, isn't it? But here we go. PTR, Sector 2 in the lead.
Oh, what? Really? That's bullshit.
That sounded ominous.
Oh! It's caught the wall smoke. Oh, he's give it.
Oh! Pete, double pole. I think we won't hear from Pete for about 5 days after this. If he wins this one, he'll be drowning his bleeding... drowning his happiness, I guess, rather than sorrows. As Pete does a lap time of 1 minute 40, I believe that was. If you guys can call me happy.
Smoke's
it's probably
wheel
better
went
than my
off
lap
there.
time at the last race.
That's what I'm not sure. I don't know. Smoke's wheel went off there.
40.0. Not bad lap time there by Pete at all. Claiming a second pole position in a row. So we move on now to the race in Singapore. Going to be curious to see what the weather is. Obviously they haven't dropped us any spoilers, so it'll be cool just to find out. Bastard, I was throwing a Pringle pot lid up in the air and catching it, and I failed miserably. Right, here we go then. Dry race. Did you see on the Ferrari garage, Spoke Spaceman, F1 PTR, their names are on the board. Apparently you're allowed to smoke in this pit lane as well, by the way, guys. There's not a no smoking, which is quite dangerous considering the amount of fuel tanks that are lying around. Just want to, number one, say smoking is bad, guys. As long as it's, obviously, my pack of fags, it's good. Going into my lungs. But anyway, guys, 5 red lights coming up again. Here we go then.
There you go.
Singapore round 2. Peely's 1-0, and it's away. But look at the start from Smoke. Look at that.
Quality start.
He's done it. Oh, Pete's still there. A little bit of argy-bargy, as you do.
This is where it's going to get interesting.
It certainly is. Will we
Seen
go
this.
to a round 4 and a round 5? Looks like it so far, but a long way to go.
I personally think we could be seeing that tonight.
You never know, mate, you never know. Smoke Spaceman leads in the first sector, the first time he's actually led at all in this tie. So let's see how Pete does chasing. I found out in my second round clash against Swanee actually. It's very Pete Rice occurred quite heavily there. It's very hard to chase and catch someone around this track. Very hard. When you're in the lead, you have such an overblazing advantage over the other person.
It's all about the Singapore more curb, but just how much you take in the curb.
It is. It's almost like the angle in which you go for it, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm going to just, obviously while we're watching these guys, I'm going to double check the score in the other event.
Well, at the minute, Smoke's got to get some nice exits again. But at the same time, Pete is trying to keep just over sphere, I guess.
Here we go then. Back on, just trying to find out now. We're going to get kind of a word from one of the other guys in a minute. But as we see here, Smoke currently just about has edged out 1 second lead on the first lap. Oh, Pete with a bit of a loose back end there. So coming across the line now, Smoke, of course, will get the fastest lap because he's across the first lap first. 1 minute 43.0. And my fucking phone's died. What a bellend. Right, anyway. Have you noticed how much Pete catches up in the first couple of corners? Oh, goodness me. Do you know what, I love watching these. It's almost like I become a fan, as opposed to a commentator. I'm just sitting there, you hear me go quite like.
Smoke's now opened up quite a bit of a gap.
It is, Len. I was about to say he's kind of put literally over a second on him again, but he is keeping him honest. You know, there's not like, for example, the match with me and Swanee, or you know, obviously we know the match with Mo and Skillen ended up just being a shambles around here, didn't it? But you know, other than that, it's probably the closest Singapore I've seen. Obviously, I didn't see Bingleys and Ouija's, but I heard that was an absolute slobber knocker to say the least.
I've got to say, I mean, this is pretty much like the USA before, where Pete had a little bit of the gap, and then Smoke would close it.
It is like, do you know what? It's almost role reversal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolute role reversal. But once we were saying as well, when Smoke does take the lead of a race, barring a rare mishap, Smoke will keep it.
Oh, it's got the consistency. They both have.
It's almost similar to Bingley as well, obviously, as he is here, and you know, guys like Robbo and the top guys, when they get in front, you will see the level of consistency. I even have it myself, even though I'm a mid-pack driver in the big group. You know what I mean? It's once you get in front, you get that mindset of let's fucking do this. Let's fucking get ourselves going and get the hell out of it. But first time the gap has reached 2 seconds. What can Pete do to respond?
Up to now, it's just, I would say stick to your game plan and hope that something goes in your favour. Yeah.
Oh, what a camera angle that is. Oh, get in there. Cody, you're very good in with that one. Right down the centre of the car. Bloody brilliant, right from the back wing. Quality camera. Both guys pushing insanely hard here. Trying to book a little appointment with Robbo in the quarterfinals.
Oh,
either way, I think that match is going to be
There's
classic.
actually rain on my screen.
I don't
Bingley,
know.
I'm not sure if you've got your audio included, mate, but Bingley has just spotted that there is rain.
And there is,
and
I
there
can
is.
see it in the background. I can see in specks.
Look at the cars. Look on the TV pod.
Yeah, it's specks of it, you can see it. Coming.
Mate,
This
on the
could
car
be
you can see it coming up. Goodness
This could be
me.
a very interesting ending now.
Guys, is this even a thing on a 5-lapper? I don't think you could do this. What?
Apparently so. This could make it
Goodness
very
me.
interesting.
Update, guys, by the way. Update for the first semi-finalist. It is Skillen 3-1 over Ghost. So that's just
Congratulations to
confirmed
Skillen
outside.
then.
Certainly is, mate. Well done. Hopefully I'll be booking my place in the semi-finals soon against him as well. I don't know, but you never know. Be good to face Skillen. But this rain is coming down.
It is. And the thing is, I reckon by the end of lap 4, this could be very slippery.
Mate, it's looking. It's not really affecting the guys at the moment. Obviously, there's no spray whatsoever on the car. Obviously, going from dry to wet, it does take usually 1 to 2 laps. But Lennon, as you said, by the end of this lap, it's gonna potentially be an ice rink.
Yeah, it's going to really open up because, like you say, it's a 5-lapper, so...
It also brings about the debate of the wheel and the pad. Obviously, I'm a pad runner, Lennon's a pad runner, Pete's a pad runner. What about you, Bing? What are you?
I'm away.
wheel runner.
Well,
I
we've
think that
got
would,
some technical difficulties here, guys. We'll try and get back to Bingley as soon as possible. But yeah, obviously. But then going back to the conversation I was about to have, the phrase with Smokey runs a wheel. So it does bring out the key question: what is better on this game? Oh, Pete,
Can you hear me now?
Oh, well saved. Yes, I can hear you, mate. Yeah. Oh, guys, we've just been told that Bingley is the lightning bolt in Hungary has stopped hitting Bingley's house now in Britain, so we are good and we are happy and we are back connected. I was going to say, mate, are you pad or wheel?
I'm on the wheel.
You're on the wheel. Do you know what? It's almost weird. You can almost tell the difference. Like if you're watching Smoke, for example, now, you'll see when he turns the corner, it's so smooth, isn't it? You can literally glide the car, barring the conditions here, obviously, so they'll be a little bit more jittery than usual, but it's just such an easy way that you can literally almost glide the car through, can't you? Whereas myself, Len and Pete on the pad, you almost have to always, as you see there, it's almost like you're always having to correct yourself.
You always have
So
to
it's
slightly
literally one of
brake
them
earlier
cases.
as well, just to get more into the corner.
I was going to
That's
say, a
what I
lot
mean,
of the
and
times
obviously
I'm
the wheel users.
You don't get a full rotation. That's the problem I've had to do with the pod. Sometimes
I was going to say,
Well,
because a
you
lot of
can have
times
the
I'm smooth,
sensitivity.
but the lot of times I'm sideways.
In the last
so-
few races, Bing, I have to
I'm
say, we've
sideways.
covered you. That's what I was going to bring you out. It's like you're almost being drifted, mate. I mean, Forza Horizon will give you a great drift skill and give you 250 points if you upgrade all your perks.
Yeah, I
mean,
guess it's just how I
crazy.
start my car, and it just starts kicking out all the time, but I've just got so
How
used to
would you, what would
catching
you
it.
guys say about Singapore as well as a whole? I mean, where would you say would be the key parts to gain and drop time on this track?
Well, I would say, you know, when we go under the tunnel and you've got like that sharp right turn that leads up the straight, I think like the corner's coming up after this corner where Pete's just gone slightly right. I think that's where you could gain time, depending on if people overshoot that turn, because it's such a sharp turn on the left side. So
Very, very tricky conditions as well here, guys, as well. But
that,
go on then, sorry, mate.
this turn right here, I would say this is where you commit time, because people do overshoot this corner, so you can really gain some back.
Can I just say as well, Lennon, you putting that out then was perfect timing, because these two guys have just put in two of the best hairpin corners I've actually seen on this game.
Exactly.
They were immaculate. These guys are both on fire at the moment, I've got to be honest with you. At the present time though, it is of course Smoke Spaceman, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners to go.
Making it 1-1.
Certainly is, mate, but look at the spray. Anything can happen. Still 4 to go. Now 2 to go. I think this counts as one corner. I don't really give a toss. But if you have a look here, guys, lap 5 of 5. The series is level. Smoke Spaceman wins in Singapore. Great drive by Pete. Great drive by Pete. Great
Another
battling
solid
once
drivers.
again, side by side. On that
Alright,
side
good
bar.
racing.
Smoke Spaceman, of course.
Oh, we're driving the way
Once again.
from lap 3 as well. That's having to control the cars.
It was really good how, even with the slight minuscule bit of contact, you guys still managed to keep it side by side and clean. Which, you know, obviously, you know, guys, if you
Alright.
would like to see more of this, if you could please go onto twitch.tv, as you already are watching on this, of course, and make sure you follow Positively Glad. I'd be much appreciated, of course, guys. Ding! You know what I mean?
I would
So,
potentially say that, like, I wouldn't say that on the side by side it's that. I'd say it's more like slight wheel banging at the max.
But that's what I mean. But that's what, you know, that sort of shit you can
That's
get away
good old
with
F1.
in racing. It is. It is. That's what people tune in to bloody watch. You know what I mean? And speaking of tuning in to watch, we now have one of my personal favourites, Mexico. So that's going to be quality.
And I really like this
So
track as well.
Oh, mate, I'm gutted it's not on the short season. I can't believe.
I
How
actually
was this
like
missed
track.
out?
I wasn't there when these were all voted in.
I technically was, which has annoyed me. I didn't vote. So I was working. and then I kept forgetting when I got home. Another dry session.
Monday night performance race, we get to enjoy this track 100%.
Oh, mate, stop it! I can't wait. And this is me in the Sauber. I can't wait. I
But
love
the
this
opposite
track
side to
100%.
that coin is we're back at USA, where I can't stand that track. So.
How have you not got out?
You've got to get through USA. Because I'm leading the championship, mate.
I know, but how have
And
you,
I
like,
can't help being
gained so
consistent.
many points ahead?
Basically, man, a lot of them come in Austria. I got 4th,
Oh, okay.
which was pretty cool. But then, no, it's just because everyone else crashes out, and I'm consistent. But, yeah. Last race I wasn't consistent, I was last. These two are neck and neck here, going down the main straight. Might as well ask the question, guys, while they're going around. Key parts of this track.
I would say
The S section.
no. I would say this next turn coming up, which Smoke's coming up to, where you have to go a lot slower. I would say that's a key point. In the end,
I was actually going to match Bingley and say the S's, but Len, you make a really good point, because if you kind of cock this corner up, then you've ruined
Gotta
about
slow
3
down.
corners after it, because you're making up time, aren't you? You're literally having to fight the car to get it into better position. Both
say
guys
also-
doing really well doing that at the moment.
the end of
You get
the
right
race
the
as well.
wheel gains time through the
Final
sections.
couple of corners.
These two are absolutely fucking neck and neck.
You just can't pick a
Neck
winner.
and neck at the moment.
You know, if I'd
But
have seen him race,
guys, we've not seen an Austria yet. Obviously, Towley and Robbo did go, but the match technically was over. You know, they did their 5th race just because they were doing it. We've not had a 3-2 in this round yet.
in this
I'm
corner
speaking
here.
through my arse. We did. I was involved in it and Swanee crashed out. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, Smoke Spaceman is there. Is he going to get that? He got pulled. That is close.
That was
Fucking
super
hell.
close. I mean, now if you
Smoke
came back
grabs
to
it
me
just.
and asked me my prediction of who I think was going to be the winner, and I seen this prior to that, I would probably say
I
think
ain't giving
it's
you
the
one.
winner.
A 1/10 of a second.
Exactly, very close. That is exceptionally close.
Not the world's quickest lap times, but that doesn't make a difference. You know, we want to see close racing. If you guys are that close, then fuck me, you can do 1 minute 40
Oh,
minutes. Don't give a
I would
toss.
also say that this gives you a preview of what this is going to be like in GP1 when Pete moves over to that in the next game.
Along
you know.
with myself, Bingley and Smoke, you will see that on Sunday nights, ladies and gentlemen. K-Road's channel. Starting in September, we will confirm an official date, obviously, when we do.
Yep.
All depends how good the game servers are. And that's
So it's
obviously how we're
quite-
going to be doing.
I would say it's quite nice to see how close they are, which is quite interesting.
Also as well, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be opening a nice little post up in a bit, registering for the Champions League of SF1. I get dropped at midnight. If there was interest, pop your name in the comments. But here we go then, we are away at Mexico. Look at Pete, straight into the slipstream, Smoke, straight onto the defensive.
I think
This-
that's
I
quite
don't
a
know, would you
clever
want to be
move,
on the
that.
inside for this corner?
And he's actually got the better side, I think, his PTR here. So this is going to actually benefit a bit.
Pete
Oh,
on the inside, these two side by side.
this has got, oh, wheel
Oh,
bang.
but a bit of argy-bargy there, it happens.
It's recovered, it's recovered. This is where I think the race will get interesting at this very point here. I think this is where they're both going to...
Oh, Pete,
Where'd it
whoa! Late braking. That's what late braking does for you.
I
Oh
did
dear.
say this. I did say this corner would be the most awkward this one for them. I just had that feeling.
I wouldn't call that a dive bomb me at all. I watched the whole incident myself. It's just basically a case of late braking. You can brake so late, as you mentioned, Lennon. One hell of a hard corner. And do you know what? I can't believe we never even mentioned it. We weren't going to mention it.
It's just
I
the
didn't
way
do
you have to
anything
slow
wrong there,
down.
man.
No, you
No,
didn't.
no.
Keep going.
I think it's just like
Late braking Pete's part.
Poss said, late braking and trying not to.
No one's at fault.
Continue.
No one's at fucking fault.
And I think Pete's got slight damage on the right,
He does, mate.
which is going to
dear.
really change it up.
He's ruined him.
Well,
I mean, it's not over, you know, but
unless a
Anything
mistake
can happen.
happens, yeah, like you say. But for me, I think in this race, the end bit and that bit that we've just witnessed the collision in there are going to be the key parts of this race.
is this where the series sways over towards Smoke Spaceman's favour? Key thing is here, will Pete be able to keep it going? Will he be able to keep that momentum running? Will he be able to kind of bite back in Russia? At least we're going to Russia, which is good. The worst thing in these series, Bingley is sweeping someone. Even though he's not managed to yet, anything is possible.
Just got a little bit.
I almost hope I do get swept by Benny because I cannot be bothered to do another 5 race series. I'm the only one who's gone that distance every fucking time. Do my fucking
Anyway,
But anyway,
with the
we're up 2
With
seconds.
the
This
wing
is, you see,
damage.
with that wing damage, I know, mate, you
changes
lose
it
so much
from-
time.
yeah, S is
It's
pretty
really
much
bloody sad to see, to be honest with you. Mate, here as well.
Yeah, this is the other part I was on about. This part and the other part, the hardest parts of this track, I would say. That you
You
make
do
or
really,
break
really
parts.
well to kind of give damage limitation, but there's not really much that you
Can't
can do
do
when you're
much.
racing with someone of Smoke's calibre. and you've got wing damage and they don't, it's like, ugh.
Trying to do the S's with wing damage is almost impossible.
He's done well. He's done really well so far.
Yeah, he has.
Mate, what's happened to me? I've become a soft ass, haven't I? Jesus Christ, have you seen me on the page? Man, there was not even a penalty given this week in SF1. I reckon next week there's going to be like year bans, fucking prison sentences and all sorts next week, I noticed.
Bloody Jeremy Kyle
I don't know
show.
what happened in the race I raced and streamed on. Yeah, I know. It would probably help if I actually got the first place winner right in GP1. We'll work on that next week, folks, promise. But next thing you know,
well, obviously when Mark comes back, he'll be like, it was a quiet week for you, and then all of a sudden he comes back and it'll be back and up rolling.
I know, they'll bring your shit at Stefan, doesn't it?
They probably think you put everyone up to it, like, how much did you pay him, Pos?
I'll just turn around and say that, you know, I had a bit of help from my friends, you know. like to thank the 346 followers for donating me a tenner each to give them money to pay them to not crash. Be good. Thank you. But looking back on this, do you know what I do feel for Peter? There's not much you can do.
I'm still going to go with the prediction of a 3-2 either way now.
I think it will be 3-2. I genuinely, Leonard, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I was actually veering towards a 3-1 smoke.
I would,
you know what
I did say smoke at the beginning, but just courtesy of what I've seen between the pair of them, I would probably say I'm going to have to go and here's my decision, say 3-2.
I don't want to pick a winner. It's hard to. I mean, you know, obviously, Bing is here as well. Bingley, what's your kind of thoughts, mate? You know what I mean? You've been here since the start of this. I mean, what are your kind of views? So Peter's performed better than what people who would usually expect, should I say?
Yeah, I know Pete's got the pace to get another victory. Like you said, it could go either way. I know Smoke can win the races as well. It's a 50-50. Anyone can make the mistake in the polar races. So
it is. I mean, going back to some mistakes that have happened, obviously from my personal experience, Rara in Abu Dhabi, you know, in round 1 for me, corner cutting on the last lap, 2-second penalty. Swanee, let's face it, guys, I'm going to eat humble pie here. Swanee is quicker than me. You know, he is genuinely quicker than me around most tracks. But he made the mistake in Austria. His one mistake, and honestly, the first time I've ever seen him spin properly by himself, happened to be against me in round 5, in match 5 of round 2. Looking at other bits and bobs, obviously we saw Mo yesterday, a big moment, keeping up with Skillen in Russia, which was admirable itself.
Yeah,
obviously the shit show, which was Singapore, wasn't it? He did, which nobody expected. Mo, literally, if you call it underdogs, Mo would be the ultimate underdog in that sense, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was about to say
you know, nobody expected to pick up a result. Obviously, the way he did it in Mexico, you know, there was contact, wasn't there? We know there was contact. There's no point bitching and moaning about it now. It happened. 7.7
we just got to move on
gap.
from them situations and then, like you say, learn from them sort of things. From watching, from the race.
Always big.
Try and be careful with your racecraft. Really, that's what it is.
These guys have shown a really good example of racecraft. Like I said, the thing is, you can forgive a late braking manoeuvre, can't you? Like,
well,
you know that Pete is
you can forgive it as long as
Smoke is a clean-ass driver.
Still keep control of the car, which Smoke managed to keep it, so he could still keep driving. He didn't spin off, which is also.
Well, they both did. Obviously, when we're talking about that with the kind of left-right, weren't you? Like, if you go on the outside of the left-right, it's so hard to stay on the track. Smoke Spaceman, to cut across myself, a little bit of a skid there, Smoke. Low fuel mode, he's actually run out of fuel, but he still comes across the line and takes a 2-1 lead in the series. As we have here, Pete, admirable effort. Great battling, great spectacle this, by the way. I can't wait for you all to watch this back. But, 2-1.
Like I say, I would like to change my predictions now from what I've seen. I'm just going to say, I'd just say
I ain't saying anybody.
Either way.
Yeah, do you know what, I'll call that. I will call that with you. Mate, should we put money on it and just go, buddy, each way bet?
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not?
We
know already, guys, one semi-finalist in the first ever 1v1 tournament is Skillen.
Good race, Pete. I didn't
Good race.
touch of.
I just realised Mike's been on mute for the last, I don't even know how long.
The only thing that makes me talk and possibly is they're both my teammates, so it's like, it's horrible.
It's quite funny being here with Lennon because it's almost awkward because he doesn't know who to cheer, and it's quite funny listening to the awkward tone in his voice where he gives one of you a compliment and not the other one. This thing, I don't know. But,
I don't
right,
want
guys,
him when
we
we get
have
out
here
of this party, I'm
2-1.
getting shot.
2-1 in the second round match between Smoke Spaceman and PTR. If you're new to this concept, it's a 1v1.
Ooh, this could be a very interesting. This could turn from dry to wet, I predict.
We've already had one, haven't we, Len? Which I didn't really kind of expect, to be fair, but
Quite interesting, I found.
Was it
I know it's
Russia,
first
yeah?
time in the booth for me tonight. Russia, mate. He's on the grid in Russia. God. God, yeah, it's Russia, mate.
Go on, next race already.
We certainly are, mate. These guys don't mess around. 2-1 lead to Smoke Spaceman. If you are fresh new into this 1v1 tournament, 32 people entered. We technically are down to 8 at the moment, I believe. 9. 9 we are, because obviously, there we go. But anyway, moving on. I can't count. Don't judge me. Anyway, Smoke Spaceman now. We are watching Space on this lap then. So no, we're not watching PTR because we watched Smoke Spaceman last time, didn't we? Now this here is the toughest corner on the game.
And that's really
In terms of
changed
corner,
it.
and that's high. I think. Is this? There.
Oh, it's going to be another one where it's
These
so
guys are neck
close.
and neck. I thought there was an invalidation. That's why I just literally stopped speaking for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't know, and then I just realised it's so.
Oh god, this is going to be mental. This is another track, of course, guys, that missed out on the short season, which is quite interesting. This is
And
basically
you know what, I actually
a
like this
whole
track.
lobby list of tracks that missed out on the short season because we've got Mexico, we've got.
Oh,
Greece.
it's just invalidated. Fuck.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
really?
Yeah, he did corner
Like
cut.
one, but oh, was it a corner cut? Was it?
Yeah.
Ah,
Too much in the corner,
it didn't look.
unfortunately.
I don't think it would have given you that on the race scenario, but obviously this almost
No.
becomes time trial, doesn't it? So Smoke Spaceman with his second pole. So 2 poles each. Will we get to 2 wins each? Time will tell, of course, guys.
That's where it'll be interesting.
I'm home alone on Saturday as well, folks, so there may be some Twitch action on my channel. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. I might just kind of do some random games, download a game and do a walkthrough on it. I don't know, wait and see. Do a long night stream, I don't know. But Smoke Spaceman, by default here, has got himself pole, 1 minute 34. That is 8 tenths quicker than what I could do in this. That is a rapid time. Rapid time
Serious
around Russia.
time. Very serious time.
PTR 36.2 if anyone's interested. If you're not, tough shit because you know anyway. So,
Oh, this is where it
this could be the
changes.
decider. This could be the decider. Oh my god.
Also, I was
fuck
saying
up in
that
there?
some people
Sorry,
don't
that my
always
tap
hear it
caught
in
the
fully.
mic. Sorry.
Mate, no, I pulled my mic out as well. I was thinking, fuck, at least I'm happy I didn't make my own ears bleed. That was nice. But we currently have a very, very tense moment at LM. I'm Bing, of course. So this is going to be...
Well, this is where I
Very,
think
very
this is where it's going to change a lot because, like, I always say some people are just they don't always give it all in the quality, but they've got a different standard when it comes to race pace. So
Hi, how you doing, Len? I'm one of them. 5 red lights here once again. Could be
There we
the
go
last time
again.
in this tie. Russian Grand Prix underway. Smoke Spaceman Dream Start. But
Nice
there's that
long
much of
run
a straight,
down to-
it could happen.
this is where it'll get
Exactly,
interesting at turn 1. I can this is where it'll get more interesting.
Heat's going for it, yeah.
Oh,
Another touch and another bit
and
of
I
wing
think
off.
a bit of damage is gone.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I don't know.
I didn't even touch him.
No, don't worry. Keep racing, keep racing, keep racing. Such loose braking by Pete. Did you see that, guys? The
Yeah,
brakes
it's
were
like
so
it's
loose.
like as if his car's not responding.
To be
like
honest, I
that.
think Pete's brake pressure isn't what it
Too
should
low.
have been. Bit too low there. Obviously, no one races Russia because it's a shit heap anyway. Never mind that, guys. Not sorry, Putin, if you're watching. Hi, fourth wall. But yeah,
Oh,
man, you just feel for him, don't you? But it's annoying the fact that you can't blame anybody. It's
the
really
thing is, that
annoying.
they're both raced hell of races. The only thing I would say that's letting Pete, well, pulling it away from Pete is the fact that his brake pressure just seems way too down.
In 2 races in a row.
Yeah, it
I
just
mean,
seems like the
'cause
car
he's been
doesn't
up there with
respond.
smoke.
like, which is, well, it's demoralising to watch, like, because both my teammates, but we can only have one winner, unfortunately.
I know, mate. The thing is,
Told
Smoke
over,
got
told
this
over.
car in the perfect position. No,
Exactly.
it's not. As Peter's here.
Exactly.
So you ain't gonna fight off, mate. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna back
Uh,
up. But
If I know Pete the way I know Pete from training with him, he never gives up, so...
the thing is with Russia as well, you can get 10-second penalties around here on this game. On
Thing
5 lap
is,
races.
this is one of my favourite tracks, which is mad. A lot of people don't like it, but I actually really like it.
Do you know what, mate? I love. I did call it a shit heap myself, didn't I? It isn't a shit heap.
It's actually quite a
it's
nice
just nobody
drive
fucking
when you
voted
get,
for it.
get into it.
Nobody fucking voted for the track.
Let me see now. That's a nice corner. Got that one nice.
Like, it isn't over. It really isn't over. But
No,
in
anything could
Smoke's
happen.
terminology, I wouldn't want Smoke. If I was Smoke, I wouldn't want to make this go to a 5th round now. This has to end here. In Smoke's kind of mindset,
So,
then, you know what I
the
mean?
posi-
This
the
is the
position
thing.
he's in, you would be thinking to yourself, you'd be like, right, I've got the advantage here. I've got to.
Well, that's what I mean. But then to throw a race when your opponent has wing damage, that is mind fucking. If you potentially do that, you know, I've been in a situation myself where,
Yeah.
you know, obviously this season in GP2 I've had, well, obviously I had the Melbourne race, but I had a very similar situation in Austria where I had light green wing, Carlos had full green, and you know, obviously, you know, we both controlled that. I got him by about 4 seconds in the end, I think it was, but you know, you get in that mindset like thinking, fuck. You know, the person who has kind of more wing damage than you, if they're quicker than you, that puts you into serious doubt. You start looking at every sector, and then you miss apexes, and that's when the other person strikes, and that's when you know you've fucked up.
Not just that, simple errors come into your game, like you look at your little map in the corner and you'll see their lap time pop up on your screen like fastest lap, and you start like contemplating stuff.
It's almost like, say for example, if you have a quicker driver, like this is from my own personal perspective again, and then
Yeah.
you probably agree with me here, like guys like, you know, I'm not kissing Oscar Zero, but Bingley, Smoke, Robbo,
Oh.
like, do you know when, say for example, if they have a bad start, because we've seen both drivers come from the
Yeah.
back this season to get podiums. If you know, are leading, say, the one I can almost credit the most about this is Jono. You know, by the way that he dealt with having both of these two bloody behemoths after him, you know what I mean, for such a long time, and managing to keep them behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was probably the one key example I have of this, of obviously that method being a success, you know, by just basically having a quicker drive. But then, as I was going to say, you get in the mindset of seeing the guy behind you having a fastest lap, and thinking,
I have to be
I
quite
can't
honest,
respond to this.
The amount of times I've been next to Catherine and then I've got to look away from her, like, she's been held up on first laps, and I thought, well, I've got a massive gap on her now, you know, I'm in cruise control, and then all of a sudden, like, you think, like, because you're 12 laps into a race or something, and you're like, yeah, I'm
Man,
comfortable.
all of you GP2 fuckers aren't doing your job and giving me the title, man. My followers can't give me more money, please.
And then you'll just see her all of a sudden, or with someone like Cazorla just behind you pop up on top of the screen like the fastest lap, you just think, Jesus, I thought I had him at bay because of the gap. But
Can I just point out that Pete isn't exactly miles behind here.
I don't think he is either.
He's not losing too much time.
Funny thing is, when you look at it, it's only like going up by 3 each time, nothing much. And then it drops, and then, you know, it just... Quite interesting, funny enough. Pretty
You
on
heard it from
path.
Pete straight away, guys. He said he isn't going to give up until the last corner. But then please don't give up on the last corner. You know, we like obviously we saw a spectacular crash from Skillen yesterday when he realised he won, but we don't want to kind of go through that again. Guys, anybody who hasn't followed the channel, this isn't me doing a joking thing here. I want to kind of put it out. If you could please drop us a follow, that'd be really, really cool. Obviously, this is going to be a, you know, a continuous thing. There's going to be a lot of good content coming up. We've got career mode, myself, Williams career mode, so get ready to stick needles into
So you're getting
your
Williams?
eyes.
Well, that's what I'll be
fucking kill me now
driving,
for it.
unfortunately. I'll be doing it on the
Yeah,
hardest difficulty as
The
well.
hardest, I'll be doing pretty much that as well, just to kind of finish last every race, you know, eventually end
But
up getting better
also
than
go
what you
through
need to
the
do.
tree and see, like, you know, use the
I think
Williams
I'll
as
decide
your
on
This was one of
setup.
Go on, Macca. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Obviously, Bingley guys will be racing on 37 AI. He was thinking of putting it to 38, but he wasn't sure if it would be too much of a tricky task. So we obviously convinced him to go 37, and he can go to 38 in May when he gets a bit better at the game.
Man, I might be awful at next year's game. Only
That's the,
handler
that, do you know
system.
what? That is the key sentence right there.
Anything
Brand
can
new
be
handler
different.
model. Exactly, mate. Everything is going to
Only
get
I think
consistent.
having a
Only
halo,
who's put them
your
on.
balance can be totally different on the next game because you've got a halo adds weight as well, so you're totally different. Like, say where you have 8.
Mate, I put on a stone since the last game, man. I'm going to be weighing my fucking car down, I tell you. Smoke Spaceman here, guys, is looking to close out the series 3-1. Now let's all agree it could have ended much differently. Pete's braking, or brake pressure, not necessarily his braking. The
I think
pressure
the loss of
seemed
like
to
the
have stepped
right
the back
side
end
of
out.
the in 2 races besides the brake pressure is like obviously played its
It's,
part,
do you know
but
what's saying that it's not as bad round here.
no,
There's not
because it's
too
long
many
straights.
left-handers.
It wasn't long straights as well. But either way, they both had a hell of a race.
Probably one of the most interesting
Exciting.
and intriguing series yet. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. Pete had Sol in the previous round, which nobody knew what was going to happen on that one. You know, that was wide open.
Speed as well when he's on it. Very good driver as well.
Sector 3 here for Smoke Spaceman. Come from behind. 2 series in a row, Smoke has come from behind. Another stat for you guys, the only person to come from behind to do so and nearly hit the wall on the final.
Yeah,
Jesus
I was about to
Christ.
say, I thought he lost his bloody wheel then.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robbo will face Smoke Spaceman, cleans the series 3-1.
Very unlucky. Pete
Sweep
got
it,
it.
just cleaned it. F1 PTR,
Good race,
valiant
Pete.
effort. Valiant
Nice,
effort.
nice race, mate.
Well-
man.
well done.
It was interesting.
Oh,
Well done, Smoke.
Sorry about your wing, but I don't think. Well,
It happens.
plenty of room.
It happens. Yeah, he did.
50,
gave you room.
challenges. It's not malicious at all.
Can I
It's
just say
I'm a bit-
though,
I'm
obviously
feeling a bit
we'll
more
get the
confident with
stream
GP1
done.
next year. Sorry.
That's
Pete,
good.
you
I
really
would
put in a show,
say
mate.
so.
No, I
would
was going to say,
so
Pete,
as
you
well.
put in. I'm going to speak to you first, mate, as
How's
well.
it
You put on a really good
Yeah.
show, man. Put on a really, really good show. That was absolutely
Had to make me
quality.
dig
I thought
deep
we
on
honestly
you.
thought we were going to get you.
I could kick myself for the front wing damages. I definitely had the pace to beat him in Mexico. I know I do from practicing earlier.
Mexico,
could've
what happened
been-
in
I could've
Mexico?
been-
You just brake too late or something?
Just went far too deep. As soon as I hit the
Ah.
brakes, I knew I was going to back and there was absolutely nothing I could do about it.
Even when he ran wide after the corner, but I love how he went down the inside. You still had the confidence in each other, Smoke and Pete, to still fight side by side on the next corner.
No, I never give up, man.
Crazy.
Unless I know
You
I
both
can
didn't.
force. Unless I know I can
I've seen him
force
race.
him
I've
into
seen
an
him
error.
race. So
Unless
I knew
I
you
can
could
force
trust
him
him.
into an error. Yeah, go on, Pete, go on. Sorry.
I knew I could trust you. That's why I was confident to go side by side. Even
Yeah.
in America, when he undercut you and came back across, I just knew you weren't
Yeah.
going to go into me. I just had the confidence to do it.
But you both
Not
had
one of
to
them
finish
people,
with
man.
race
Not one of them
Yep.
drivers.
Yep,
I
definitely.
hate. To be honest,
Well,
that's what I
did
hate
you guys
about
see
this game.
Malaysia GP2 this week? Pete.
Yep.
Well, you're late breaking, you little slag. Fucking
Has to
damn
be
it.
done.
Mate, I led approximately 0.7 corners of that race. Thanks to Pete. No, want to congratulate Smoke though. Smoke, now this is going to be an interesting question. One that a lot of people want to hear. You are the first, a lot of people will say, but well, obviously we had Towley and Robbo, which was a fucking monster match. Robbo, what are your thoughts about him? Do you think you can get him? That's
He's got
intriguing.
He's racing for Williams for us. He's got to get him.
I'll back
Oh,
Smoke
fuck
Space
me,
Band in the end now.
fucking
you beat me.
cheerleader in the background.
I'd-
you
I'd-
guys will do,
To
yeah,
be
but
honest,
say-
yeah, all I'm going to say is it depends on the track. That's all I'm saying.
They have been drawn.
I'm gutted I'm not the next round. I reckon I could have swept up the next round. It's
You know
looks
what
so
it is,
much
Pete?
better.
I think you've had a good run, mate, honestly.
They
I
have
do.
been drawn, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the on-stream reveal of the tracks. Of course, we've seen Syke Zaney do it. The track list is as follows. Race 1 will be at Hungary.
Oh god. Oh dear me.
Race 2, Suzuka.
Yes.
Dream material. Dream
Three.
material.
Which
Dream
is
so
going
far.
to be 3. Fuck me, what was 3 again? Fuck, I forgot.
Silverstone, was it?
Austria.
Oh no, we
Yeah.
got Austria in this one, man. Really?
You certainly did. Random track draw, bro. Well, you didn't get to race it, so there you go. Happy days. You get to race it now, guaranteed.
Oh,
Round
savage.
4, ironically, is another one you've done before. Is Abu Dhabi. If it goes to a 5th round, we will enter a new track, China.
Nice.
The next round's so much
So
more
they are
promising
tracks,
for
guys.
me.
Pretty
This
confident
round
on the
was
first
really
two.
couldn't have been worse.
Pretty confident on the
I
first
thought
two.
you had a good. You know what it is, Pete? I actually thought you had a good race. That's the weird thing. Even with damage and that, you really still try to keep the pace there. That's hard to do.
Yeah, you
I've
done
only
pretty
found
So
well.
then,
Pete. Considering I have
I will
literally
give-
had no
Congratulations
practice.
to you.
I don't. Yeah. No practice
we'll
at
turn
all.
around and say, guys,
Oh,
end
shit.
of the stream here from my perspective. Backed out here. Basically, Smoke Spaceman advances, commiserations to Pete. I'm going to actually say I was going to
Sorry,
drop
Pete.
the announcement of our next tournament, which is going to be held on the new game. The first thing that happens on the new game, I'm actually going to announce that tomorrow afternoon. It is called SF1 Champions League.
What's that then?
Model after
So-
that, yeah?
You will find out tomorrow by logging into Facebook just after 2 PM.
Ah, you're
But
gonna
I'm
win.
going to
What's all
withdraw. I'm
these
going to hold it.
other updates and stuff? What's all these other updates? Because I
I'll
haven't
let
been
you know in due
looking.
course, mate. Basically, it's just as I going mental on the fucking page, putting a welcome page and a big script saying about our rules and shit, which I read to my daughter and she approved, so I guess it must be pretty good. But
Yeah.
next time you will see me, guys, will be a landmark stream. It is going to be
I suppose
myself
let's find out
streaming
when
for the
Robbo
first
wants
ever
to do.
time. We'll get that organised,
good.
mate. I'll get you into a group in a bit. Me and K Rhodes are both going to be collaborating for the first ever time in SF1 commentary, so this is going to be rather fucking saucy, should we say the least. Rhodesy, right down the middle, very, very calm. Me, just an erratic Murray Walker on crack. So good luck comparing the pair of us there, so that's going to be awesome. Just want to simply say though, Bingley, Carlos, just after 9 PM tomorrow, do not fucking miss it. It's being streamed on this channel, maybe on Rhodes' as well. This has been Posglad. Congratulations, Smoke. Commiserations, Pete.
Thank you very
Lennon
much.
and Bingley for now. Assistance tonight. Much love, all the best, and we will speak to you all very, very soon.